Welcome to the live session starting of another trading week. Traders, hope that you had an enjoyable day and beginning another trading week, starting with current trade setup as well as the current market structure to see that what kind of trading opportunity we can find in the market. This is an exclusive live session and we will be looking at, that means focusing on education as well as live trade setup to see that what kind of trading opportunity we have currently in the market. Now I'm looking at gold, and also we can look at the currency pairs as well if it appears to be highly appealing. That means if we see a good entry opportunity in the market. Let's look at the current market structure here on gold. We can see that gold had a significant break below here in that market, from this high here to this low, and we can see the market is currently in a downtrend. So first of all, let's see that why the market is in a downtrend, and is there any possibility for uptrend, or we could see further bearish price action here in that market. So you can see that from the lower time frame, we look at the 5-minute chart and the lower time frame, there is a bearish price action has formed here. Now before we look at the trade setup here, first of all you want to see that the potential directional bias in this market. Now we are running a trade, you guys have seen that, which is currently running, and we are looking at, I'm looking at further trade setup in this session. Again, the market is currently as the first day of trading week, first session, and the market is pretty volatile here, and we will be looking at that entry opportunity in this market. So let's begin here to see whether we can find trading opportunity in the first move that you can see looking at gold here. Now before we go to that further entry opportunity, I would like to see that where the market is heading in this market. And if you guys looked at, or if you are ready for an entry, say yes in the live chat that you are ready for an entry with risk manager, with lot size calculator. And if you don't have a lot size calculator, also you can let me know here. I'll show you that how to calculate the lot sizes so that you are not risking more than you should be for each trade that you will be opening in this session. So the first step is, guys, make sure that you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it, so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every single day. Okay, so let's look at here that how the market structure has evolved here in that market. Now looking at, first of all, this is the 15 minutes price action that you can see gold had earlier. From this level there was a breakdown. Now I have already posted an in detail analysis of that breakdown in the premium group. So if you're on the premium group, if you haven't looked at it, that's a really big analysis that I would like you to really pay attention to, that if you want to learn trading and become a better trader, that's where you can find the actual education. So in the meantime, did you like this stream? I'm waiting 5 seconds to smash the like button so that it goes up with the algorithm. Awesome, thank you. Good day, welcome. Now what we are looking at in this market here, you can see that 15-minute chart that we are looking at, and that is where the market structure is bearish. Now this trade, if you look at on the screen, exactly from that level, I have posted in the premium group for as I have opened, also I have shared in the premium group. Now what is the reason behind the trade and what we can look at the next entry as well. So you guys, if you are on the premium, then you can see the trade. If you're not, don't worry, there will be also the live trade here that you will be looking at once the market is giving us that entry opportunity here. Now lower time frame market structure here is still bearish, and you could see that further potential downside in that market. And if you look at the 15 minutes price action, back to back 3 smaller doji here, and this 15 minutes candle, you can see it's closing potentially as a narrow doji. Now if this candlestick pattern is closing below this, the previous session's low, as a long wick doji here like that, we will be opening sell, keeping the stop loss above this high. We want to catch again. We are running one trade and we will be adding to the winner. That's how trading is. So you need to look at the adding to the winner, cutting the loser. That's the best way to trade. So the current running trade, if you guys looked at, this is where you are looking at. Now this trade already I have shared in detail with entry, stop loss and take profit and every details of the trade in the premium group. That's the best way to learn from the real trading, learn from example that is trading, right? So looking at here now, if you look at this price action on the 15 minutes, it's a narrow doji, the market in a consolidation. The possibility here that I'm expecting the market to break below is higher. So are you guys ready for adding a position? Say yes if you're ready. Then you must do the risk management. That means not higher risk, smaller risk, bigger win. That's the secret of becoming a profitable trader. Now you can see there is another candlestick pattern is being formed on the 15 minutes on gold, and the candle closing below or as a doji is a possibility for potentially another bearish move here, that downside. But before the candle close, we still have 2 minutes to go, and the market may try to, the bulls may try to break that high here, and that is going up is a possibility for potentially another potential selling opportunity might be bringing here for us. And I'm looking at this market structure to possibly to remain bearish in that market. So we are already running a big trade, and I'm opening potentially another position shortly after we see the market is getting that rejection here. Still we see the bulls trying to break this high here from the 1 hour. Also you can see the market, and also there's a 30 minutes candle closing as a bearish doji here in that area. So looking at this lower time frame, if you look at the 1 minute as well, this is where the market is trying to create a new higher high. So now there's a bearish fair value gap. If you look at in this area here, this is an important level that I'm looking at the market to potentially reject back below here to create a new lower low. So I will be adding potentially in that area another sell position with nearly to 86 pip stop loss. This is the second position, adding to the winner from this level for this potential break below, and with a same level of TP target with a tight stop loss here. And it's a market order for the second trade of the day. So for this trade, the stop loss that I'm placing here at 4071.76, and take profit target bringing in the same level at 4043.70. So I have opened another sale in the same way, and So adding to the winner, and the market could do anywhere, but we are looking to see that potentially rejection back below here. That expecting that the 15 minutes candle close with a big bearish. This is a green candle closed as a narrower. They're expecting the market to potentially return back below to the direction of the trend. So we are already running a trade and looking for further rejection here in that market to the major direction of the trend. So anything can happen, but we could see still the market to go ahead and break that high. But what we are looking at here, the market to potentially to remain to the major direction of the trend. So here is the downtrend that you can see currently with the market open, and this is the second position. The first one in running currently that we have opened in that area is running 195 p profit while we have added this position. Now in the meantime, I would like to move my stop loss at entry for the first position so that I'm not risking too large here. So this is the first position that I'm moving the stop loss at entry. So I move the stop loss at entry so that I'm not risking much here for any move back below. So I'm also updating the premium group. So we move the stop loss at entry. Now here is what we can see. There is some kind of rejection showing up here. From the 30 minutes perspective, there is a bearish candlestick pattern formation. Price is trying to break that high here, and let's wait to see how the market is trying to create that structure in this area, as there has been significant bearish move. We might see here that deeper pullback in that market. So looking at the lower time frame, it's very unusual, has broken above. The market is, if you look at the 4 hour, there was a significant bounce, and this might be just a pure liquidity trigger from this key level. This is a 1 minute resistance line, and so there is a break to the upside here, getting the rejection again back below. Key here is patience. So that rejection, now let's see that where it is heading back here from the 5-minute chart, dropping back down again to the to our entry here, and want to see that breaking below back to our support level. Market does this sometime, grabbing liquidity, but I would like to see the price to, this is the 5-minute chart, pretty long wick candle, and if this 5 minutes candle closing as a big red or long wick doji, the next one expecting to break below it, nearly to our entry point here. We want to see the market to show up that pattern here. So if you look at, this is our current PNL here, running both trade and expecting it to come back below here to this is the 5 minutes price action, which is pretty long wick. Looking forward to see this market to remain to the major direction of the trend, as the long-term trend here is bearish, and that is what we are looking at the 15 minutes and the 30 minutes price action, that the market to show that bearish price action, to see that if it is getting the rejection back below. And this is where looking at 5 minutes, little volatile here. The first trade that we have opened was successfully running in. The second trade, we might see some deeper pullback in that area, and looking at the 30 minutes, here the market structure breaking that high. We'll be waiting to see that how far the market might be moving in that area. Wanna see that potentially stronger reaction from this high. And the key here, guys, is to manage the risk properly, so that in case any trade not going in our favor, we are still on the positive side for the long-term direction of the market and for the long-term profitability. So here is the market structure on the lower time frame. I'm gonna try to break that high, and so overall we are out the first trade. We will be looking at next entry. This is where so there is a break of structure to the upside here. We are looking at, this is a potentially deeper pullback here in that market, and so if you look at the lower time frame, the 5 minutes chart, from the 4-hour and from the 1-hour perspective, this is where there is an unusual bounce back to the upside here in that market. So looking at the lower time frame, we will be waiting for a possible break below again, and I don't think the market will be very strongly bullish here, as it's a long term. Currently we said there was a strong break below from this high, and there might be what we could see, this break above here, potentially a deeper liquidity sweep. If you look at here, you can see the market is slowly building that price action, and it's just from that entry the market is trying to break that low, and are you guys looking to see the market is trying to reject back from that key level? This is a potential an overextension to the upside here, and so we'll be looking for further entry again as soon as you find that suitable price action confirmation here. If you look at, this is where there is a nearly to quite a few peep of overextension back above here in that market, and if the trend continues to break from here, if the market breaks from this high, we can expect that trend potentially to continue to drop down here, and in that case we want to see that the market has broken from the structure, and with that break of structure, that looking at the market to potentially trend back down, back below to this support level here in that area. I hope that you guys enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. This is where the key is to look at the trend. So the bigger trend here, if you look at the 1 hour perspective, that is where there is a rejection from the 4-hour chart here, that you can see there is a rejection. Now once the trend reverse here, we can expect it to drop down back below to create quite a few gap open. The market left quite a few imbalance in that direction here in this market. So it's for me not a very big uptrending market structure. If you look at the 50 minutes, you can see it's quite a few long week candlestick pattern, and I'm holding on to the first trade yet, and for that deeper drop back down, I think quite a few overextension in that area, and we will be re-entering a sell trade with a bigger profit target. So we have another attempt on this one to add with the winner, and once the market managed to change the trend here, that's where looking at this market to break this swing low here and then to continue to drop back down. And there's that head and shoulder that you can see in this area potentially be forming, and I would like to keep that potential for continuation back below. This is the 15 minutes market structure that you can see, and that is where the 5 minutes as well. Once the market managed to change the direction here, we could see the price to drop well below to this support level, and that's what the trading is all about, probability. Are you guys ready for another adding position here? And I'm again risking a very smaller, and we'll be placing again 85 pip stop loss. We'll be putting a sell position in that area for the next entry. As I mentioned earlier, here the key is to look for a smaller risk, bigger win. Stop loss putting at 4076. All right, so 407.6.08, that's the correct way to trade. Take profit target. We are running one trade and putting another one. Take profit at 4043.70. 4043.70, and with 1% risk. Running the second trade. Now, waiting for that potential break below, that means that potential change of trend here, that I'm looking at the second position that we have opened, because the first position is running in quite a few bit of profit here. And if we can look at this market to potentially as if you look at the 15 minutes here, that you can see there is a long wick candlestick pattern, and I'm looking at the market structure to potentially to remain long-term direction. That means if you look at the 30 minutes, that you can see there's another candlestick pattern here, and now again risk is fully managed. So looking at the lower time frame here, that for the price action to reflect back below, now the 4-hour market structure, that you can see the earlier the candlestick pattern open with a stronger bearish move that we have seen, and so trading is, if you look at, it's all about the probability, that we need to stay in the side of the probability for either to come down or go up in the based on the trend. But when we are right, we have to take the bigger win so that we can keep winning for the long term. So that's what we are looking at. Now if you look at the 5-minute chart, the candlestick pattern that I'm looking at here for possible rejection from this higher price. So as there's a head and shoulder, and I'm looking to see that head and shoulder to play out for this potential rejection. It might try to break that high. I will be waiting to see that the potential rejection after this pullback here in this market. So once the market managed to break from this high, if it returned to the direction of the trend, I'm looking at the trend continuation back below here to this support level. So looking at here on the lower time frame, there is a pretty long wick doji, and expecting the market to potentially to trend back below here. And once the price action showing up for the trending bias here, that I'm looking at to drop down back below to this long-term support level here. The support is here, And if the market managed to reverse, we can expect 170 pip potential move in this market. There's some kind of rejection coming. Okay, so the bulls here, if you look at, not getting a very stronger rejection, and that is one of the point that you can note down. Are you guys with me? Welcome. And in the meantime, good morning. Please can you type the market order because I can't see it. Okay, so have you got everyone get the point? So stop loss here, the second trade that you have opened at 4076.08, very tight stop loss. And that I'm looking at this market structure to potentially drop down back below to the support level. So two trades that we are running in, one is closed just a couple of minutes ago, the other one is running in. The first trade is risk free, that means the stop loss at entry. The second trade that I'm running here is just now here. Okay, you guys see that? So the stop loss for the trade is 4076.08. Say yes in the live chat if you are running with me and you got the correct entry. So yes. All right, so now there are some liquidity gap here in that area, and 5 minutes, 15 minutes, quite a few time frame confusion here. So can you let me know? I want to see that how many members with this trade. From the premium we are running, the previous trade is still on, and it's still on for that's a risk-free trade, the one that I have sent out earlier, the big one, which is running in profit, and I'm not closing it on the halfway because we want to take the bigger win. That's the secret, guys, because you won't be able to win all trades straight away. You sometimes need to let some trade to go for stop loss, and that's how you can keep the winner bigger, so that you can keep winning over the long term. Here is the, if you look at, this is potentially an overextension to the upside, and this market there is a potential for breaking below here, and we are looking at if it breaks below here, looking at this support level here. There is an imbalance in the market. If you look at here, you can see this is a bullish fair value gap that has not been tested properly in that area. So start to drop here in that market, running in two trades. All right. Managing the risk is must. That means in any situation, even if you have a trade that didn't go in your favor, do not deviate from your risk setting, do not deviate from your plan, and keep smaller risk, bigger win. Over the long term, you're gonna be a profitable trader. Just you need one simple strategy to trade the market. Now from here, once the market managed to break below, if it reversed from that level in the direction of the trend, expecting to drop well below, back below in that area. 5 minutes candle is close here, 15 minutes as well. There is a 15 minutes candlestick pattern forming here as a doji. Now this move back above on the 15 minutes, if it is a pullback, after this drop, that we can expect new drop back below here to create a new lower low. And that is what I'm looking at the market structure to potentially remain downside here. Got it in? Alright, so some downside. I'm not closing in the halfway or a smaller profit. We want to take quite a big here. So the first trade that we open here on the premium, that is currently risk free. The second trade went to the stop loss. The third one, now we are looking at also potentially coming down here to this support level. Now rejecting from that level is welcome. This is where we are looking at the market to drop back below. Can you hear me, guys? I think the stream is on. All right, so that's where you see the market is maintaining that pattern here, maintaining that downtrending move back below here to this support level. And still can bounce back up again before the 50 minutes closed for another potential liquidity grab. But if this 15 minutes, the current one that looking to see that it's closing as a narrower doji or as a bear candle, then the next one, this is the 15 minutes market structure. If this current 15 minutes candle not being able to close as a stronger bull candle, the next candle expecting to return to the direction of the trend. So that means a big drop, pullback to potentially continue to drop, continue to trend back down here to this support level, to the level. And that's where the market trend to remain to the direction of the major trend. We're getting some bully, some rejection from the higher price here. And with multiple liquidity sweep, that looking at this market to break below. All right, so this is where the 15 minutes price action showing up to be downside here, and we are on it. Welcome, and looking at that market structure break below here to that support level. And understanding the fair value gap, also important to see potential directional bias. So looking at 15 minutes, that we can see on the 15 minutes, that's a pretty narrower bearish doji being formed, and a candle close with a doji. And now looking for possible continuation here. 30 minutes candle closed as well. So you see there is a 1 hour candlestick pattern close, and looking at after this 1 hour candle close, the market to after a pullback to potentially come back below here to the support level. So you see there is a reaction from that support, and Now this first move is important because this is what I'm looking to see the market to potentially trend. So the 4-hour candle close here. If you look at the 4-hour price action, this is a intraday 4-hour close that you can see here with this long wick candlestick pattern. And with this 4-hour candle close, I'm looking at potentially the market to come back down here to retest and then to return again back below to this support level. There is again another rejection here in that area. There's an initial bounce that we are looking at, and getting the rejection from the 1 hour and the 4-hour candle closed, and this is what I'm looking at, guys. This is a pretty long bearish rejection from the previous session. And are we going to see a weak fill here? Let's look at to see that if the market going back for another weak fill on the 4-hour, and that's the basis of our entry for this potential weak fill. And still can try to break that high. I need to readjust the risk management here. So this is a 5 minutes long wick candle again, and now we are at an edge here. Very interesting price action has formed. This 5 minutes might be a manipulation. If that's the 5 minutes, that manipulation from the 4 hour, we look to see that we fill back below. That is where we can look for possible drop down to weak fill. On the other hand, if it is a manipulation, we might see that the price to go back up. We are almost near at entry, and I'm running. I'm holding on to that. If the market potentially break below to this 4 hour support, we can expect a straight drop down to weak fill here. And welcome guys, welcome back to this another live session. So the first session of the week that we have begin with a few trades opening in the beginning of the week and looking type the market order. Okay, so we'll be typing it in our next entry. It was little faster entry, so you couldn't type that. I hope that you guys have seen that, but if you missed that, don't worry, don't let yourself to FOMO trade or revenge trade, but just keep your the trading psychology in check, so that you're not going to enter a trade which is already expired. This market, if you look at the 4 hour, so we are looking at this level here, the market structure. From the bigger picture that you can see, the price action is having that some upside bias here, and we might see, but I think that potentially to retest that level. Really strong move that you can see. And do you think it's gonna be a fake move? You can see it's got rejection again back below, and I think the market might feel that imbalance here on the 1 hour. Got the rejection, we'll see straight bounce back below here, and getting this market structure to here. This is pretty strong here in that area that we can see the moment, and 15 minutes closed important. With the doji here, that the market structure may be rearranging here in that area, and I'm really looking forward to this trade to see that how far it might be rearranging itself. 15 minutes closing, and we are seeing that heavy candlestick pattern formation on 15 minutes perspective. Leaving on the market to see that what price action. Just tested this swing high, Gbpusd resistance, turn support, and might go for little sideways in that area, guys. So if you look at the 15 minutes, we can see that there is a doji, and very unusually broken above here. So this is where looking, we might need to see that possible deeper pullback here. So So with this movement that you can see on gold, that the market has entirely broken that to the upside here, and so looking at the intraday, okay, so the market potentially has changed its sentiment here, guys. So this is where we need to let this trade potentially go, and we are looking for the previous trade that we are running is still running in, and I'll keep running that until you see the market has created a new opportunity here. Looking at in this lower time frame price action, so you need to look at the market from the fresh perspective from the 4-hour. That's where there is a very unusual break above, and from this daily support, the price has a straight bounce back to that daily high. It was a pretty stronger downtrend, turn that back again to the upside. So we'll be looking at in this area for potential trend change or continuation. That you can see here from the higher time frame. That you look at from the daily, the price has straight bounce back to the daily high. So the bias here for the long term in this market is bearish, so we can expect it to remain downside here, and I'm still bearish. I'm looking at that bearish move later coming. Welcome And the price action, if you look at the 4-hour from this creating a higher low, it's currently testing this support as a resistance. The market we can expect what I think this is where this isn't bull market at the moment, so at any point we can expect the price to drop down. I'm still running the first trade here, and we'll keep holding on to that for bigger profit target to see that where it is heading to. So if you look at, this is where the long wick that you can see, and sometimes the market just this reversal that we have seen was very unexpected, and sometimes the market does this just to grab more liquidity for bigger move. And looking at daily, that you can see the price is almost to the daily high. So until we see the market has prepared for that move back below here on this, and waiting for the market to show that rejection back below or entirely change the trend, that is less likely. If you look at the daily, you can see this is the daily high and the daily low here. So two high and low, the market has moved equally in both directions. So this is the daily open. We have seen 312 pip down, nearly 260 pip to the upside here. If it reverses from a very key level, you would see the market straight coming down back to this support level. Now the market is on the daily level, right? So from that zone, it's trying to create a new market structure. So if you look at here, we're going to see a head and shoulder here. The trade is still running, and we are almost nearing to this end of this session, as we are looking for more trading opportunity later. As if you look at the daily price action, that you can see the market has shown both directional bias, and what we could see that from this daily market structure, if you look at the price to potentially drop back below to this support level, I'm looking at later today further entry opportunity from that level. Once the market shows enough confirmation, we'll be looking to enter again as soon as the market structure shows this kind of price action. So that being said, guys, this is the first session of the first trading day. We still have a whole week as well as the session to go for the next one coming up in few hours. We'll see you there again trading live. Until that, stay well, stay happy.